I gotta make water with the Watermaker, so I'll show you how that works. So it's a reverse osmosis. You have laser pointer time. That's the high pressure pump. That's the reverse osmosis filter. And then under here you have a feed pump that's down there, which feeds the high pressure pump. Then you have the pre-filters. It's 20 micron, 10 micron. So it sucks up the seawater, filters it down to 5 micron. Then it pushes it to the high pressure pump, which pumps it up to about 600 psi, forces it through this reverse osmosis filter, and only water gets through. No salt or anything else. All the salt and everything else gets rejected out of this line here, pumped over one way. And then the other way, I got my crown jewel here. I got the dolphin spigot. That's where the fresh water comes out. I haven't piped it in my tanks, so I just plug this hose into it and then run the hose into the tanks. So I'll show you how that works. Feed pump is pumping. It's supplying the high pressure pump at about 15 psi. The high pressure pump doesn't have the lift capacity, so it has to be fed water under pressure. And that water spits out here through that through hole. The low pressure pump is feeding the high pressure pump, so I turn that on. 600 psi. Now, I have a thing here, total dissolved solids. So it's at 150 parts per million. That'll go down as it flushes out. 15 parts per million, anywhere from 2 to 5, I believe, is good. And we're making water at, we're only making about 15 gallons an hour. Filters must be clogged. Pure fresh water. The hose is restricting the flow, so I gotta work the kinks out of the hose. But I get, it makes 17 gallons an hour, runs off direct current, not AC. All the brine spits out all the bad shit. Running. It's using about 58 amps. So, it's not too bad. So, ran it for 2 hours, made 30 gallons. So now I'm just flushing it out with fresh water. Fresh water comes in and it fills the filter housings up and just gets all the seawater out of there, so the seawater is not soaking in the filters, all the organisms in it and shit. So after you run it, you just flush it with fresh water. Then you can let it sit up for 4 or 5 days. Water is really clear here. Misty. Cold, shitty again.
Until 10:45 a.m. At 8:46 a.m., an area of low pressure was located 19 nautical miles southeast of artificial reef 250, or 24 nautical miles southwest of Monitor Marine Sanctuary, moving north at 50 knots. Hazard, wind gusts to 40 knots. A relatively brief period of strong winds will occur along and east of the track of this low as it moves north along the coast of eastern North Carolina.
That's us.
Source, ship. Wind gusts in excess of 34 knots have been reported over the coastal waters southeast of Cape Hatteras associated with this low.
That's us.
Impact, small craft could be damaged from briefly higher winds and suddenly higher waves.
Yeehaw, Tobes!
Cape Hatteras, Hatteras Village, Monitor Marine Sanctuary, Artificial Reef 250, Hatteras Inlet, Artificial Reef 230, Artificial Reef 220, Artificial Reef
30 knot winds. 35 it said, 34 knots reported. It's good.
Move to safe harbor immediately as gusty winds and high waves are expected.
Gusty winds and high waves. That's cool. Thanks, guys. That's what I needed to hear. Calm me down. That fair weather sailor there, he don't like this. That's the boat right there. Parker Sport Cabin with twins on a outboard bracket. That's the one. It's a nice ride there. So one of the good things about being in the ICW is you can do stuff like repair your outboard while you're driving. So I ripped the pull string off this the other day. We're going to fix that as we're going. Hopefully I'm not going to drop the tank overboard. thing you got to do is kill that big ass, ugly ass spider in there. Oh, he's ugly. He's an ugly one there. First thing you got to do is remove the gas tank, get that out of the way so you can get to the recoil mechanism under there. It's always good to steal a big thing of tie wire. You can never have enough of it, so you can tie. I'll just tie this up so if I do drop it, or should I say when I do drop it, it doesn't go in the water. So that's that. Got her wound up. I had to take the core out of the string. Most strings, they have a core which just gets the strength. Then they have an outer layer for tape protection. So I didn't have the right shit. And I don't know if I made it long enough, but better than what it was. All right, we got that off. And that's what we got to replace. Not really sure how to do it, but figure it out, I guess. A little short, but I'll be pissed off screaming and I'll rip that off. We'll do it again. This is called How Not to Eat a Bone by Toads. He really struggles with this stuff. Normal dog stuff he really struggles with, like pissing and chewing on bones. He's an odd little guy. He likes to lick around the bone. And oh, he figured it out. He got his foot on it. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he's figured it out. So when it's raining, I can sit here. I can see the chart plotter. And I can kind of sit behind this spray dodger, which is all busted up. But if it wasn't busted up, I'd be able to sit here and I could work my autopilot with this little piece here and stay out of the rain. This is Wrightsville Beach. 8 o'clock, we're leaving. Got a little weather window. I'm gonna see what it's like. I'm gonna try to get the Little River Inlet today. I don't know about running that inlet, but we'll see. How's that look? How's my coffee look? Pretty good? Oh God, what is that? Big toes might have got in there. What are you doing? What are you doing in my coffee? Look at 8.2 knots. Moving. Fear River. Always think of Robert De Niro, best movie ever, Cape Fear. But so the forecast is 15 to 20, gusts to 25. So I got a double reef in the main. See how the main's shorter? I got it stopped off there, and then it's not up all the way, and the staysail out. So that should be okay. I'm gonna run the Little River Inlet, which I never ran, and hopefully it's not gonna be a problem, because if the current's coming out and the wind is with the current, which it's supposed to be, and there's breakers there, this boat's gonna have a hard time getting up current. So I'm gonna try to put the pedal to the metal, I guess. Or maybe we'll ride some breakers in. Well, after talking to these three bigger boats, they're 43 and 50, they said offshore is not a good idea right now. So they're running the ICW, so I'm going to take their advice and just run it here. Because the wind's not too bad, but it's coming from the south, and I got to go south, so I'd be beating into the wind the whole way. So it's always something. I got the porta boat folded up here on the side. I'll show you guys how that works later. Kind of glad I stayed inside because it's blowing 20, sustained 25, and we'd be beating into it, so I'd have to zigzag, so it'd actually be more distance. But this way is more of a straight shot. It's a little bit slower because I'm fighting the current and the wind. I'm going upwind and in the current. But if I were tacking out in the ocean, I'd be out there forever, and I'd have to hit that inlet about 9 o'clock after I did my calculations. And Little River Inlet is, they say you don't want to do that one at night because it's shifting the sandbars and whatnot. So we'll just do this again. So here we are, Calabash Creek. Made it. Got the dinghy in. So I got a call from, there's a guy down in the Bahamas named Wellington, and he helps you with your pet papers. And he called me and said that the immigration, I need to get Toby a distemper shot. So I have to go to shore and get him a distemper shot. I have an appointment, and somebody's gonna pick me up and take me there. So I'm gonna be here for probably 2 days. My appointment's on Wednesday. Yeah, here we are, Myrtle Beach. Toes is here. We'll take a little walk on the beach. Toes got to get a shot today. About 4 o'clock. Got to take him to Petco. Get him a shot to get him into the Bahamas. It's harder to get him in than it is me. Well, here's Myrtle Beach.